Okay, let's pray. Loving God, we thank you again that today we can come to study your words and help us that we can understand and can use it for your kingdom and for your people to help them to grow too. We lift up everyone before you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, today, chapter 5, we're going to talk about angel. And we're going to talk about good angel first. Now you know that God created angel. And a lot of people always ask me, where in the Bible talking about creation of angel? Well, we have to go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. You see that in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, the Hebrew Bible talk about God Bala, in the sense that God make the universe out of nothing. It means that only God exists before anything in the universe. So Genesis say that, chapter 1, verse 1 say that God make everything out of nothing. But Genesis chapter 1, verse 2, the Hebrew Bible change in the sense that it's a big gap between verse 1 and verse 2. When verse 2 start in Hebrew Bible talk about the whole universe is disorganized. It means that it's already there, but a big mess. And from verse 2 talking about God come to reorganize. God separate darkness out of light, light out of darkness, land out of water. Everything already there. It's just a big mess there. So the theory go on that something happened between verse 1 and verse 2. A lot of things happened between that time, and God did not tell us. God just tell us about our time. Adam is our ancestor, our time. Adam in our time, we might call, according to scientists, we call modern man. Yes, if you dig under the ground, you will find a lot of bone of a lot of things before our time. Those is, we don't call modern man, we call ape, Java man, Ice man, and all those people we call before our time. Our time is modern man is around 10,000 years ago. Anything older than that, we call something prehistory. So we put all those things in the gap between Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2. And now the angel is in that gap too. In between that time, God created angel. And a lot of things happened before our time. Scientists just say that big thing happen, big explosion, or something collide with the world, our world, and kill all dinosaurs, kill everything. Well, science have that theory. But if you look at the Bible, something happened. Something happened, and the whole universe is a big mess. So according to theology, in those gaps, it might be millions of years ago, because God have no time. It's long time ago, God make angel. And angels are servants of God to serve God everywhere. And after a long time, some angel rebels against God. Why? Because they want to be God themselves. Especially Satan, his name we call, well, the most handsome, smartest angel above all. That another story. Next chapter we will talk about him and his army. But today we talk about angel in general, in the good sense, when God make them. There's still a lot of questions concerning angel that we can answer, and some we don't know too. Now talk about angel. Well, if you look at the old Hebrew understanding, they get a lot of idea from Egyptian too. You have to remember that the Israelites went to live in Egypt for 430 years. And they get a lot of understanding, thinking from the Egyptian. And they put a lot of things in their culture, adopt the Egyptian thinking, especially the word Hebrew. We thought that Hebrew is Israelite belong to the Jew, but in fact, the word Hebrew is Egyptian word. The Egyptian call all foreigner Hebrew, but the biggest group is the Jew. So the Jew adopt the word Hebrew for themselves. So later on, they call themselves the Hebrew, but in fact, the word Hebrew is Egyptian, mean foreigner. It's not even Jewish word. I believe that in our culture, when we live somewhere so long, we adopt a lot of words into our language. And our children thought that it is our language, but it is not. It's from some other sources. Now, in Hebrew culture, the angel have a certain name like Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Uriel. This is some in Jewish understanding. But in Christian Bible, there are only two names, Gabriel and Michael, that's all. Satan might be another name, but in Jewish, there's so many names for angel. And this is not in the Bible. It's just in their culture, in their tradition, in their belief. Now, Saint Augustine, another theologian in the 4th, 5th century, a very famous one. He believed that all the name that we call angel is not personal name. He believed that it means their position or their division. For example, Gabriel is the division of high class angel, very close to God, and personal messenger from God, like the department called Gabriel, department called Michael. Michael is more army of God, that God sent out this division, but we don't know that. But for Augustine, because if all angels have name, they're supposed to have name when they come. But it turned out that why Gabriel come all the time to Mary, to Elizabeth, and to Joseph. So he think that it might just not one angel, it's just the department called Gabriel. That's his idea. But nobody agree with him because everyone prefer that this is a personal name, not a department name. So this is new idea that you never heard of, but it started 1,500 years ago by Augustine. Now, if you ask us how much we know about angel, no, we know some from here, some from there. For example, Jesus said that in the future, when we live with God, we're going to be like angel. Now we get the idea when Jesus said that we're going to be like angel. And he said that angel don't get married because angel have no gender and no need to multiply anymore. So in the future, we're going to be like angel. So now we know that angel don't have physical body, don't have gender, don't get married, don't multiply. That we know some idea from what Jesus say about angel. And you see angel throughout Christian Bible. For example, in Psalm talking about God make man a little bit less than angel, in the sense that God make us with power to rule over the whole world, over all animal. But still, angel have a little bit more power than man for now, but not forever. Paul talking about here, God still going to fulfill his plan for man in the future, because we are created to be God's children and heir. But God make angel to be servant. That's a big difference. And now talk about some idea from the old church history. And they talk a lot more about angel and archangel, but you see, this is just some idea, some thinking. Many years in the past, how Christians think about angel. A lot of things we don't know exactly. It's just some idea. And Thomas Aquinas is another famous theologian in the 13th century. He borrowed some Greek idea, try to explain about angel too, and try to tell us that, well, they use the word omniscient. This is we use for God. Omniscient means that know everything, can do everything. But they say this is not angel. Angel cannot do everything, cannot know everything. Angel have power to do something that God give them power to do, but the power belongs to God. Now, we talk about angel and man. We interact some way. Now we know that angel just the spirit of servant in heaven, and man, God make man in his own image, mean that we have body too. We have mind, we have spirit. Boy, angel don't have body, physical body. But man have physical body in the image of God. You see that God have three persons in one. God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Son always have the physical body that can appear to human being and come to walk in the world. And the Son body is not just Jesus 2,000 years ago. If you go back to Genesis, you see the Son in the form of a physical body come to talk with Abraham, with Moses, and walk on earth with human beings since the time of Genesis. That the body of God in the human, in the physical form. So man have the image of God. We are different from angel. Angel don't have physical body and don't have gender too. Now we talk about why men have body, why men have gender. God make us later on to multiply, so we have a lot of children later on, but angel no, angel never multiply. Now we just know that normally angel and man, we don't interact unless we have some business. All the good angels come to see human being when God ordered them to send message to man. Now it's an interesting story. In the past, man cannot get too close to God, we will die, because God is holy God and man is sinner. So angel become go between God and man. When God want to talk to man, he sent his angel. Why not today? Well, the Bible tells us that today we don't need angel anymore because we can talk with God straight. Because Jesus come to make us clean. So we and God, the Spirit of God, can interact directly. We don't need angel anymore. So in the past, angel is the go-between God and man. God don't interact with man directly, but through angel. Angel in the name really mean messenger, the messenger of God. So angel always bring news to human being. You see that even Daniel don't, even when he pray, angel bring back his answer from God. God don't answer Daniel directly, but through angel. Even in John time, God don't reveal a lot of things directly, but show through angel too. But today you see that we rarely see angel anymore. but we can directly talk with God and see vision directly from God now. You see, angel come to Jesus after he fast 40 days, 40 nights in the desert. Satan come first, try to tempt Jesus. Now, there's another story to talk when we go to next week, talk about bad angel or Satan, a lot more story to talk about. But this is in general, angel always with God, because angels are servant of God. Now you can guess, wherever Jesus walked the world, angel always with him. You remember on the cross, Jesus said that I can call down angel, army of angel to protect me and to fight for me if I want. It means that angel always allowed Jesus, even when he walked this world all the time. Angel always with God. Now, if you go back to Jewish culture, sometimes you see the Hebrew culture called angel son of God. They always say that son of God, messenger of God. Yeah. Bene Elohim. This is the Hebrew word that used for angel, son of God. Sometimes called messenger of God. And sometimes even called the Holy One of God. So a lot of words that the Hebrew used to call angel. It depends on the position of angel too. There's so many kinds of angel. But the word Malek is the one that used a lot. It just means angel, means messenger from God. So now, sometimes when you read the Hebrew Bible, you get confused because you don't know exactly the Hebrew mean angel or really God himself. Sometimes you need to look at the whole context and the whole paragraph to understand what they mean. And the Hebrew don't understand about God the Son. And this is why they so confuse the Hebrew Bible. Sometimes they're not sure this is God or angel, because we know that sometimes God himself in the form of the Son come to talk with human being or interact with human being. And Christians know exactly that is Jesus or the Son, God the Son. But for the Hebrew, they don't believe in the Trinity. They just believe that one God, one person. So they don't understand what happened. They just guess that maybe angel. And that is the Hebrew understanding. Now you go back to Daniel. Daniel see angel a lot. And angel, not just any angel. You see that Michael always come to Daniel to help, to talk to him and to tell him about a lot of things. And for the Hebrew, they believe that Michael is the angel that protects Israel, specific assigned to protect Israel. The angel, Michael is the angel for Israel. So that's what the Jew believe. Now you can understand that in Thailand, Thai people also believe that they have a big angel protect Thailand. They call the national angel. And all this idea come from the Bible too. And the Hindu adopt that because every country have some big spirit that rule over country. And in the book of Daniel tell us directly, Michael come to Daniel to help another angel who bring the news to Daniel, but the prince of Persia. It means that another angel that rule over Persia don't allow Daniel to get the message from God. So Michael is the big angel in heaven, come to help that angel who bring the news to Daniel. And after that, that angel said that I still have to go back to fight with the prince of Persia. That means that the spirit that rule over Persia. And that is the bad angel. Now the Hebrew tried to tell us about the difference between angel and demon. And later on, it's going to be clearer where the demon come from. Non-Jewish tradition always think that demon is dead spirit or dead person. But Christian teaching will teach us clearly that demon is not that person or that spirit. It's another group of angels that rebels against God and was demoted from angel to be demon. So they're not that person though. They are angel. And now some more history about the idea of angel amongst all Christians throughout history. They have a mixed understanding from old Greek and old Roman into their belief. Like the Roman Catholic get a lot of idea from the Greek and from the Roman culture, Roman philosophy into their church teaching. And this is some idea about the Hebrew thinking that we talk about. They talk about Michael, the main angel, and Gabriel, another number two. The third they call Uriel. The fourth one they call Raphael. And the Catholic adopt all this name too. But Protestant, we don't adopt this because it's not in the Bible. So you see that a lot of Roman Catholic or Orthodox will have add on a lot more angel name into their church, even it's not in the Bible. Now, there going to be more angel and more name add on different churches, but all those names not in the Bible. It just come from the tradition or culture or some other belief that is not in the Bible. And this is another history from the Jewish philosophy who try to explain what is angel and how angels interact with man and get into their belief. And Christians, we don't accept all this teaching because it's not in our Bible. But it doesn't mean that it's not true because we don't know, that's all. Now here, the Jewish teaching about the position of angel. And now we have some Bible verses to back up. But here in the book Ezekiel, Isaiah, we heard a different name about angel, but we know that this is not the name of angel, it's the position or department of angel in the Bible. You see that Ezekiel talk about Chayos, Kodesh, Opanim, Elalim, Hasmalim, Seraphim. This is we see a lot more in Isaiah, Malachim, Elohim. So all this thing is not the name of angel. We know that from the book of Isaiah, Ezekiel, we know that they are a group of angels. You might call department of angel. They have the same form. They have the same job. And they are in heaven serving God. Like the seraphim, they are more like bird, but have man faith and 4 faces. In fact, seraphim have 4 faces. They flew around God's throne all day, all night, and keep singing, holy, holy, holy. You see that in Isaiah, in Ezekiel. So it's not one, and it's not the name. We know that they are the group of angels, a department of angels that we call them that way. But the Jews always think that this is their name. Cherubim is another popular name that Christians see all the time. And we know that this is another department of angels too, that flew around the throne of God and just serving God. They're not coming to men. They just be with God all the time. Okay, I will stop a little bit about all the name and department of angel and come back to your comment or question. How you think about all these things that we know.
Ajahn said when the falling angel, 1/3 of the angel that come down with him, that's Lucifer. They say 1/3, so that means we have 3 greatest angels that kick them out, right? Kick the Lucifer down.
We don't know how many angels that were kicked out, and we don't know exactly how. A lot of things is just guessing. We just know that Lucifer, in fact, is not exactly, at first we call Satan. Satan is more official name of the fallen angel, because Satan in Hebrew just means that the rebellious, the one accuser, that we call him Satan. But Lucifer is another name that later on pop up, and we think that this is the name that we call Satan. But the Bible normally call him either Satan or demon. In English, that we translate that way. Or devil.
Devil.
Yeah. So we don't know exactly, though. A lot of time we just guessing. But Satan is more official name that we call the head of the rebellious group.
John, a lot of people are looking at Satan is bad and ugly, and the picture of him like that. But I think he's more like like a really beautiful angels, and because he rebelling against God, and a lot of people maybe Satan will have a horn, like but what do you think of that? So he have glory, right?
Well, according to the Bible, Satan is the most handsome, most beautiful, most powerful angel above all.
Yeah.
But he was corrupted by his own, you might call that egoistic or narcissistic self-love. So that destroyed him. But the Bible used the word prideful. He's so prideful about himself. But it's normal for all human beings too. When we're so successful, we're so good, we are the best, we can be corrupted too by that, all the success, all that belief and thinking. And everyone allow him keep saying that and encourage him to be God. Some people say that God don't know that, and why God don't stop him early on. So it goes back to how God make angel. God makes so many things, but angel is special in the sense that God gave angel a lot of power, a lot of freedom. So that's why when they get a lot of freedom and power, they can make wrong decision. Now, what is the right, what is wrong according to God? Obedience is everything. When angels obey God without doubt, without question, that is supposed to be. But when angels doubt God or don't obey God, that we call rebellious. And it will come to man later on too. God demands absolute obedience. When man, human being don't obey God and do their own way, that we call rebellious, we call sin later on. And you can go back to Genesis. When man commits sin, it's just they disobey God. They just decide to do their own thing, their own thinking. And that is sin. Okay, you have any more questions concerning, so far we talk about angel in general.
Ajahn, I have a quick question. Earlier, when we started the topic, you mentioned about man, you mentioned about Iceman and modern man. So the Iceman or the Neanderthal man, are they modern man or they are created before Adam and Eve, or they just same thing like Adam and Eve? I mean, descendant from Adam and Eve.
Now, all those we call modern day scientists call them prehistoric. They are before Adam time. Adam is our time. We call modern man.
Okay.
You see that all those people today we call them ape because they look more monkey than man. And they don't have the image of God. That's why they're not modern man. We are the creation that in the image of God. So
okay.
Anything before our time is not in the image of God.
So the Neanderthal, they're like man, but they are more like like monkey also, and they are not modern man because
Well, scientists today study that bone and found out that they don't have the same DNA that we have, mean that they are designed differently.
Okay, so they're more like the dinosaur time, right?
Yeah, but man, they dig down, they found out that there are many models of man, many types of man too. So it means that God created something and God keeps changing it many generations until come to be us, perfect modern man.
Okay, so that's during the angel time.
Yeah, in that gap, we don't know how long in that gap is that thing happened.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Now you see that the theory, the gap theory can explain a lot of things that scientists found out and cannot explain. And in the past, Christian church deny all scientists' fact, but today we don't deny that. We accept that that is the fact, the truth. It's just in that gap that the Bible did not talk about them, because we don't need to know. God just wants us to know about our time. Adam is our ancestor, modern man. But a lot of things the Bible did not tell us. You have any more comment or question on the first part of what we learned about angel?
Yeah, a lot of people might ask, say, hey, if God said God's perfect, they would ask a question, why did God create thing and then he changed it all the time in the past?
Well, you know that the answer is everything is good in the eye of God, but when God gives everything some freedom, and when they use that freedom wrong, they cause problem. And you look at how human being, God gave us a lot of freedom, and we know that a lot of our problem come from we use our freedom wrong. Like today, problem in the world, when people keep saying that I have freedom to do whatever I want and don't care about the consequence that will affect everyone or the whole world. Now problem happen. We kill each other, we make war, we destroy nature because we say we have freedom. But freedom comes with responsibility. And in the past, we see that God stopped us from destroy everything.
Just like Russia and Ukraine right now, right?
Yeah. And if God not intervene, we might use nuclear bomb to destroy the whole world, the whole universe again. You know that Russia and America have enough nuclear bomb to destroy the whole world many times. And now you can guess that scientists say that they don't understand why the whole world was destroyed together in the same time. Now they just guess that asteroid or something hit the world, but you know that we might ourselves destroy ourselves in the past. And we're going to destroy ourselves again. The Bible says that because we have the wisdom from God, we can do anything too. Einstein used to say that he used just less than 10% of his brain to think about all the theory. Now you see that most of us might use less than 1% of our brain. So we don't even finish high school, maybe less than 1% of our brain is used.
John, how tall was the Tower of Babel?
We don't know, we just can guess. In that old technology, how they build it. You see that when you build it with brick, you think how tall a building that can get with all the brick.
Just like pyramid in Egypt, right? Probably higher than that.
Yeah, you see the pyramid are built with stone on top of each other with a big foundation and go skinnier up top. So like the pyramid today, you can guess that it might be 15 or 20 stories tall. But with the brick and mortar, it might go even higher because it's lighter. And you look at the skyscraper today, it's so high.
So that explains that God created God created man out of his image.
Yeah.
Part of it is God's spirit he gave to us. And then part of that knowledge, maybe like, if God doesn't come destroy the Tower of Babel, and they probably can build higher, and they don't stay in the same place. And look at the brain that the human right now is like, who can touch the star, and the moon. In the past, we never think about that. Thought about that. Yeah.
The Bible clearly says that when man put together of their wisdom, they can do anything. So we're dreaming that we can fly. Well, in our lifetime, we will see men fly. I don't talk about in the machine. Maybe we find some way to develop ourselves to do more than what we can do now. You know that now we start learning how to mess with our own gene, DNA, to change ourselves, our children generation. The children generation might born with different body part that can function under the water or in the sky. It's just how we mess up with our gene and DNA.
John, maybe that is the movie that they're thinking, the time machine. That is maybe the Jesus time. That's why we can, go back to the future. Possible, huh?
Yeah, anything is possible. If you look at the Bible, that when the Bible talk about God live in the past, the present, and the future in the same time. For us, it's unimaginable. How can anything, because for us, past is done, future not happened yet, but not for God. For God is always there, past, present, future. And now if God allow us to cross from past to future or from present to past to future, it's possible. Like John, when he saw the vision of the future, if the future is not there, how can John get into the future? But it's already there, the future already there. That's why John can visit the future. Now, scientists believe that the past, the present, the future is just 3 dimensions. It go in the same time together. It's just we live in 1 dimension. If we can cross over back and forth, we cannot, but God do anything possible. But one day when we have a new body from God, we might can cross back and forth between past, present, future too. Because for God, he has no time. No time. Well, there's a lot of things that we don't know. We just can guess now. Okay, if you have nothing else, we can take a short break and come back.
John, I have a short
Okay,
question.
Bob.
In Jesus' time, like John 14, Jesus said about the time, he did not know about the time. Even the angel don't know the time of God. What that mean?
This means that you see that we always think that angel can do anything and know everything, but now we know that only God know everything and can do everything. Angel can do something. Angel gets some power from God, but angel don't know the future, and angel don't control the future. But some people say that I go to the spirit, the wisdom, the medium, they tell me about the future, and it come true. Well, the answer is they don't know the future. But when they predict something, they can follow you home and make it happen.
Ajahn, one more question I have.
Yes.
It's about when we kind of like discussed in our our Monday night too, about the time that Jesus said, in the time, the hour that no one knows, not even the sun knows. So what does that mean? During this time, because the sun was fully man?
When Jesus tell a lot of things in the Bible, you need to know Jesus have 2 persons in him.
Mm-hmm.
He is fully God and he is fully man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when he talk about himself as a man, he don't know anything.
Okay.
So you need to know that which part he talk as God or as a man. When he fully man, he can feel like us, suffer like us, and have limitation like us too. but he different from us because he have no sin, never sin.
So you said last time you said the father and the son always be there at the same time,
Yes,
and like whatever the father know, the son knows. I think on this part it says that maybe the father allow the son, tell the son what to do every time, so they all work together. They are all, like the son will say, I'm in the father's in me. So that we thought that okay, Jesus might know everything, what's going to happen.
yes, the part of God in him know everything, but the part of man of him don't know anything.
Okay. So, yes, in that moment he said to his disciples that no one knows, not even the son. So that means he's talking about himself as fully man.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see that even on the cross, Jesus, the part of fully man, suffer and waiting and know nothing too. So God the Son come to be man and take the form of man fully like us, so he can suffer like us and he can understand us, and he can say that he is one of us, really one of us. Okay, we're going to take a short break, allow 10 minutes and come back.
อาจารย์
Okay, no.
I was wondering, you say that the angel, like when you say that the angel represents each country, or trying to protect, like each country, is that considered as like a ghost as well?
Yes, you see, according to the Bible, Daniel said, talk with angel Michael, and another angel told Daniel that Michael is the angel that protect Israel. So that may be assigned by God, the angel of Israel with Michael. And you know that every country, they know God or don't know God, they will claim that there is a big angel for each country, like in Thailand. Thai always say that we have a big angel for Thailand. And you know that according to Thai religion and history, the angel that protect Thai is not Thai.
Question.
It comes from Persia. Because allow 100 something years ago, the king of Thailand make a big ceremony, invite all spirit in the world come to protect Thailand from the colonization from England, from France, and all the local spirit cannot save Thailand, so they invite big spirit from Persia. And today, that spirit sit in the golden throne in the palace in Bangkok. They make us a golden throne for the spirit, and they believe that it come from Persia.
The Thai call it พระสยามเทวาธิราชใช่ไหมอาจารย์
Yes. It's not even Thai. But our spirit is not local anyway. It's all the fallen angel.
Ajahn, that I want to know more clear, because that is they really call they have preached to call around the world angel, something like that. They write the name and then which ones can protect the Thai. That's why that's from the Persian one, right?
You know that all angels have ranks, like from general down to private. So each one were assigned to protect a certain part of the world under their control. So I think they can travel, they can change or anything. Satan is the one who rule over the world now. He's the one who decide who going to do this, do that. And now you can guess that the angel that come try to rule over America or Russia or China have to be very big.
I understand.
Okay, let's go back to our lesson. Now, the Jewish teaching have many names for angel. Now, this is some of them. I want you to see some of them. Michael is popular one. We see that a lot in the Bible. Gabriel too. Christian also accept Michael and Gabriel. But now, the Jew also have Jophiel, that means the beauty of God. And you see that in Genesis, don't call them Jophiel, but call the angel that expelled Adam and Eve out of Garden of Eden. And the Bible, Christian Bible just call that is the flaming source, but the Jew have a name for it. Raphael. Well, Christian Bible don't use it. Mean that the Protestant don't use it, but the Catholic accept it. Raphael is the Catholic angel in their culture too. Uriel is also some of the Jewish name that used for the angel in that tradition. The Catholic also accept it. Samuel. And this is another name that the Jewish use. Sandalphon. And this is some of the 7 popular angel names that the Jewish culture accept. And all of them, the Catholic also accept them too. But Protestant just accept 2 names, Michael and Gabriel. So the rest, we don't accept it. Now we go to back our Christian Bible, talk about angel. The first fact, we know that God created angel. Angel not come out by itself. God make angel. And we know that God make angel before man, that's for sure. Because when God make Adam, our modern man, angel already there. God make the universe from Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And after God make the universe, we believe that the rest, whatever God make is in there. Angel is after that too. Now, Christian Bible divide angel into 3 groups. Cherubim, this is the group of angel that always fly around the throne of God, singing, praising God all day, all night. They will call them cherubim. And seraphim is another group of angels that always with God. 2 groups, cherubim, seraphim. This is, you heard that all the time in the vision of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. You see these 2 groups of angels all the time that serving God in heaven all the time. Now, the 3rd group we call living creature because we don't have name for it. We just saw them. And this is, the living creature is very, very special, mean that they have 4 faces. One face is the lion face. The second one is ox. 3rd is man. The 4th is eagle. So you see that in every culture, you will have all these angels too. Lion, ox, man, eagle. But one thing you don't see is snake. Because snake is represented by Satan. It's not in heaven anymore, but in all the cow or the devil worship, we always have snake. But you also see ox. The Hindu worship ox or cow. And the Palestinian, the Canaanites also have cow and ox. Eagle, lion represent that God. Now we know that angels have hierarchy, mean that they have ranks and order from general down to private. And the higher rank of angel can order the lower angel to do anything. So it's like army of angel. You have the position, the lower rank have to obey the higher ranks, like the army or the angel is the same thing. And the high angel will have more power and rule over bigger land or bigger country. Christian Bible, as I mentioned, only Michael and Gabriel that we accept and show up in Christian, especially the Protestant. But if you go to the Catholic Church, go to the Orthodox Church, they accept all the Jewish name in their teaching too. But we know it's not in the Bible. Now we say that angel is not omnipresent, mean that everywhere in the same time. Angel can be at a certain place in one time. Only God is omnipresent, mean that God can be everywhere in the same time. The past, the present, the future. Here in America and in Thailand in the same time. Angel cannot. Angel can be one place at a time. So we see that angels have a limited power. It's not like God. But sometimes it feels like that, oh, we have spirit here, spirit there. Well, you can explain this. The spirit can move real fast. And they can go from one place to another place real fast. And another thing, there's so many spirits, so many angels who do the same job for the same boss. The falling angel is everywhere too. They rule over Thailand, Asia, America, everywhere. You ever heard a joke I heard from a lot of Laotian people who moved to America since many years ago. Ask them why you decide to come to Christian church. They say that all their God, their spirit in Lao cannot come to America because the spirit that rule over America don't give them visa. So the Lao God, the Lao spirit have to stay outside at the border, Mexico or somewhere. So the spirit cannot help them here. They say, you have to be Christian in America because the Christian God rule over America. So a lot of Lao come to church because their spirit, their God cannot come to America, don't have visa to get into America. It's almost like a joke, but there's a fact. Because in America, they also have angels who rule over it. And the Lao spirit cannot cross over the ocean or get visa into America. The spirit here might not allow that. So it's not a joke, it's a fact. It's a fact. But now they say that some Lao spirits sneak in. Well, it's like the Mexican who crossed the border illegally. They say that some Lao spirit already sneak into America. I don't know how they do that. Maybe come at Mexican illegal, walk across the border or somewhere. So sometimes we talk like it's a joke, but in reality, I think it's possibility. Illegal spirit from Laos get into America. They sneak in somewhere somehow. Now, how many angels? Well, we always have a joke. A lot of theologians in the past say that millions of angels can dance on top of the needle. The needle is so small. How can millions of angels can dance on top of the needle? Well, it's like a joke, but it just say that there's so many angels. And they don't need a space because angel is just a spirit. We just know there's so many because they're serving God and God used them to do all kind of work. It's like an army of angels that God made to serve him. But how many, we don't know. And might not be the way we can count it. And we talk about guardian angel. Sometimes the Bible, even Peter mentioned about that. And sometimes they say that every believer have two guardian angels. So if you say that, how many people in the world? So you double that. Now we have around 7 billion. Now you might have double that for angel to do just the job of guarding people. But there's so many who born before our time. So we don't know. This is the spirit that everywhere, so many of them. And God sent angels to protect believers from time to time too. Do not marry angel. Jesus mentioned clearly, angel don't get married, don't have family, and don't have gender. One day we're going to be like angel, because to be fully perfect in God's image is no gender, no male, no female. You can see the picture very clear when God made the first human being, Adam. Adam is not male and female. Adam is fully image of God. You see that when God made first person, it's just one person. We call Adam. In Hebrew, Adam doesn't mean man. Adam means mankind or human being in general. But later on, we use it to mean a man. But in fact, Hebrew doesn't mean a man. It means mankind, human being. And it's perfect. Adam don't have Eve. When God made Adam, it's just one person, like God. But later on, God divided Adam into two parts. One part is man, one part is woman. Woman did not come from the ground. God separated Adam into two parts. You remember? God take part of Adam and make Eve. So divide Adam into two parts. So that two parts will come to join together again later on. Angel is powerful, yes, no doubt about that. It depends on their ranks. High rank or low rank. You remember one time, the spirit that possessed a man, Jesus asked them, what is your name? He said, Legion. Why he called himself Legion? Because the whole army of spirit possessed that guy. So he's so powerful, he can do a lot of things because it's not one spirit. The whole army of spirit possess him. So now you can guess, when there's so many of them, they have a lot of power. And now you ask when God make angels, we don't know. We just can guess it sometime before our time. Angels were made before us. That's why angels can serve God and do a lot of things. And some theologians believe that in that 6th day of creation, this is, we talk about the conservative belief that angel is between that time. So we can talk about creation a lot more. The time that we talk about creation, we talk about day and night, and we always think that it's our day and night, 24 hours, but a lot of theory going on that day and night doesn't mean our 24-hour time, because it all happened before the sun, the moon that we have. And when we talk about God timing, it's not a man time. So we don't know exactly what and when angels were made. Angels are example for us. Well, sometimes the Bible say that learn from angel. Angel can make mistake too. And a lot of things, angel is the model that we can learn from angel, because angel have been made before us. And God sent angel to fulfill his plan. In many things, you see that God told angel to come to do it. And you can see from the beginning in Genesis to the Revelation, the last book of the Bible, we see the role of angel everywhere. God still use them to do a lot of things. And throughout the Bible, you see the angel show up all the time. And people say that why modern day we don't see much angel. Well, a lot of things have been done already. And Jesus fulfilled a lot of things. And now believer can get in touch with God directly without angel. It's like in the past, we used the mailman to deliver a lot of mail to us. But now we use internet, we use email, we use a lot of things directly. We don't need the mail anymore. Somebody don't need first class mail anymore. That's why the post office go bankrupt. And we know that angels have a main job is to glorify God, to serve God as servant of God. That's their main job. But now we know that we're not going to worship angel, because angel are not God. Angel is not God. Angel just the servant of God. But why a lot of people in this world worship angel now? Well, because they see angel have power. And a lot of people will worship anyone with power, man or angel or spirit. But the real angel from God will say, don't worship us. I am just the servant of God, worship God. You see that many times in the Bible, like when people see angel and try to worship angel, the angel of God will say, no, don't worship me, worship only God. And now you see a lot of temptation. Satan will tell people that, good, you worship me, and I am God myself. And now why some believers today pray to angel? Angel is not God. Angel cannot do anything without God's permission. Why a lot of churches tell you to pray to angel? Well, they teach that, well, you pray alone might not be enough. If you ask some angel to help you pray too, maybe your prayer get answered faster. It's like when you cannot go to the king directly, you bribe a lot of king servants to help you. Maybe you get answer quicker. That's the idea of the Catholic Church and many other churches that tell their people pray to angel too. So you get more support. But the Bible says that you don't need to. You can pray to God directly through Jesus Christ. You don't need to bribe angel or anyone else. Okay, this is all the lecture that I got to present to you. I did not go in detail, but you can go back and read for yourself in detail. Don't pray to angel and don't ask angel to help you, because they are just servant of God. We can pray to God directly, and we don't need to pray to any person, only to God. And God is the one who can help us, not anyone else. So don't get the idea that some leader or some churches teach the people that pray to everyone. You get your help faster. That's not true. And this is the wrong teaching. So this is why some Catholic people pray to Mary, to Joseph, to all the saints. And they think that by praying to all those people will help them. But those are wrong teaching. And they make all those people, those spirits become God. And this is against the teaching of the Bible. So it's like they tell their people to worship idol. And this is against the Bible. This is wrong. Okay, and there's so many points here that I go directly and fast. I will come back to you and let you give your comment or question on each point that you think that you need more clarify more.
John, I have questions.
Yes.
I have two questions. The first one is you said every one of us has angel protecting over us. And sometimes, what do you think when we try to chase the bad spirit or demon out of somebody, and when we're not successful just because our angel is not powerful enough?
Okay, now have to understand what is we call guardian angel first. The Bible get that idea from Peter. When Peter said that don't look down on your brother, sister, because the guardian angel of them will protect them, but don't like that. This is from the Jewish thinking. Mean that the Jewish believe that God sent angel to protect his servant all the time. So Christian, we get some idea from that Jewish teaching too. And Jesus mentioned something similar to that in the sense. Now, is it always that way? According to the Bible, Christians now believe that God himself is with us. The Spirit of God is in us. So what that means? Angel always with God. When the Spirit of God with us, the angel with us too. Not to protect us directly, but to serve God. Now, Nathan's question is why when we cannot cast out some spirit, you see that we are not have any power to cast any spirit. The power comes from God.
Mm-hmm.
And only when God allows us to do that, we can do it. You remember the Bible mentioned a lot of times, some spirit is so powerful. Even the disciple cannot cast out some spirit. And Jesus told them that prayer alone is not enough. You need to fast because some spirit is so powerful. You need a lot more power from God to do that job. It doesn't mean that God doesn't have enough power, but we don't have enough faith. We don't have enough commitment to do that work. And in some situation, it's not one spirit that possess that person. It's the army. It's a lot. You remember in some situation, Jesus need to cast out spirit more than one time. Because some spirit come out and some spirit come back. You ever seen that? The spirit go out and later on come back. And the Bible mentioned that too. When God casts out some spirit, you need to replace that place with God. If not, the spirit come back and 7 times worse. Because they bring their friend more powerful than them to possess that person again. So now it's not a joke. When you cast out some spirit out, they bring their friend back and even worse, 7 times worse. So that person need to clean themselves and have God in them. If not, sometimes the situation get worse. So Nathan, in some your situation, the spirit might go out and come back because that person don't have God in them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Second question. You said that God created angel between Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 and verse 2. How do we differentiate between the angels and in the Bible? How do we differentiate between angels and Jesus? Sometimes Jesus they call him angel too.
What that mean when you say the Bible called Jesus angel?
Yeah, I thought I remember that sometime in the Bible they said we read it says angel, but the meaning is it's not angel, but Jesus.
Oh, that in the Old Testament, not in the New Testament. The Old Testament, you see that like in Genesis, the Old Testament written in Hebrew, and the Hebrew people don't understand Trinity. The Hebrew just understand one God. It means that everything else is not God. The Hebrew just know God the Father. They don't know God the Son. They don't know God the Spirit. So whenever God in the form of Jesus come to talk with man, for the Hebrew Old Testament, they always mention that that is angel. Because God, just the Spirit, cannot come and talk with man. But for Christian, we know that that is the Son, the form of God the Son that come to talk with Noah or with Abraham or many other people in the past. But the Hebrew Bible just say that Son of God, because for them, they cannot imagine God himself can come to talk. Normally, they use the word Son of God. And for most Hebrew, just think that, oh, that means angel. But we Christian, we know that that is the Son. So I don't know, explain that to you, Nathan.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, but how we know the difference? Sometimes when the Hebrew Bible calls Son of God, they really mean angel. For example, some people ask me, in Genesis, have a section that says Son of God, Mary, daughter of man. And they produce a lot of children that's so powerful, become a leader of some powerful person. So what that mean? Son of God and daughter of man. I explained that there are two ways to explain that section. In general, in Western Christianity, explain that Son of God mean that the one who know God, obey God. And Mary, the daughter of the one who don't know God, son, a daughter of man. And they have children. That in general teaching. But in the spiritual explanation, they mean that Son of God mean the man that possessed by some spirit, maybe angel, bad angel, who used the body of a certain man to marry another woman and produce their children. And the spirit still continue possess that family and use them for their purpose. And this is why a lot of culture talk about their king. Their leader is angel or son of angel. And this is come from this teaching, because the spirit that possess the ancestor use the ancestor to be leader or king. They have the spirit. Even today, you can see in many cultures, the cult leader, you can tell right away, they're possessed by some spirit. So they have power to control other people. And other people just believe in them because they're possessed by some spirit. So it happened that way. Son of God here means the angel, the spirit of angel that possess some body of some person to use their body for their purpose.
John, having a question. Do you know why do Catholic people pray? They use Mary's name to intercede. Is based on what chapter and what verse?
Okay, let me go back to the church history. The Romans have their own religion before they became Christian. The Romans persecuted Christians for 300 years. They killed Christians, destroyed church for 300 years. But after 300 years, a lot of Romans became Christian underground. Now, one of the leaders, Constantine, tried to unite it because the Roman become fraction. A lot of generals divide the Roman Empire into their own kingdom. So Constantine tried to unite all the fraction to be a big Roman Empire again. And he tried and he failed, he tried and he failed. But one day he dreamed or saw a vision that he used a new flag, the cross. The cross will bring victory for him. The cross will help him unite the whole Roman Empire. So he can see that vision tell him that if he became Christian, he will successful. So he decided to be Christian. And he's successful. He united the whole Roman Empire and become superpower. So Constantine converted to Christianity halfway, mean that he never get baptized because he believed that if he baptized, he cannot kill anymore. So he wait until he very old, very sick, and want to get baptized. That's why the sprinkling start, because he all sick, winter time, nobody could dip the emperor in the freezing water. So they use the sprinkling. Now, when the whole Roman know that the emperor Constantine became Christian, everyone say that they want to be Christian too. The whole empire became Christian, but you can guess, he's not a real believer. They just follow the emperor to get favor, to get promotion. So the next day, the whole church filled up with new believer. The whole Roman Empire, millions of them joined the church that day. Now, for what? They're not a real believer. They just want benefit. They just want power. So the next day, they go to the temple of Hercules, the temple of Zeus, the temple of Diana, and change the name. Now, this is not Hercules temple anymore. This is Moses. This is Saint Peter. And for the Diana temple, they change, this is Saint Mary. Now you see that they recycle the temple. Change the name. And then how about inside? All the statue of Mary, a statue of Zeus, statue of Hercules, they change the name. Now this is the image of Moses, Saint Peter, Saint Mary. Now you see that they recycle their old religion to be Christianity. So it means that they are not a real Christian. They just change the name of their old religion to be Christian. They keep all their priests, they keep all their image, they keep all their statues, and they worship the same thing. Just change the name, and they are not a real Christian. They still the old Roman. This is why they call themselves Roman Catholic. They don't call themselves Christian. Because this is the old Roman religion. in a new dress. They call themselves Roman Catholic, the religious of the Roman. They just pretend to be Christian from the beginning. All their statue, all their temple, they keep them, and all their tradition, their culture. The Roman pray to Diana, pray to Zeus, pray to all their God, thousands of them. And now they bring it to their church. They call themselves Roman Catholic, and they pray to new name of Diana, they call Mary. New name for Zeus, they call Moses. They call Saint Joseph, Saint Peter, Saint Paul. It's all the old God. Just give a new name. And their statue still there. Now I explain that why Roman Catholic pray to all those people, because they're not Christian. They keep their old religion with a new brand name. That's all. Now you see, very dangerous.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. But I know a lot of Catholics don't know the truth, and they will feel often that we tell them the truth. This is history. Okay.
Yeah, John, we just talk about the bad angels or something like, for example, the country, sometimes they call themselves, they claim themselves, I am, the angel was born. For example, Kim Jong-il is father of Kim Jong-un, is a North Korean, a leader. So he said he was angel born and to rule the North Korea. Is that we can believe that? Is it true?
Well, it can be a fact in this way. The spirit, bad spirit, possess his body, his thinking, and he can convince a lot of people to worship him because people see the angel or spirit that in him. They can feel the power of the spirit.
Oh.
So it can be true. Bad angel is possess him.
Okay, thank you, John.
Ajahn, I have a question.
Yes, Bob?
About Catholic, Roman Catholic and Episcopal and Anglican, how different they believe, like a little bit different.
Okay. When the Roman Empire ruled the world and they adopt Christianity, claim that they are Christian, the Roman rule over all Europe and Asia. But after Constantine's death, the general divide Roman Empire again to be the East and the West. So the West side, they call Roman Empire. The East side call themselves Greek. So they change their religion from the Roman Catholic. They call themselves Greek Orthodox. So now you see that they are the same brand name, but the same factory, but use two names now. One side call themselves Roman Catholic. Another side call themselves Greek Orthodox. They use Greek language, Greek culture, and they change their statue. The Greek side use picture, painting in their temple. But the Roman side still keep their idol, their statue, and use Latin and call themselves Roman Catholic. But the East side call themselves Greek Orthodox now and worship painting. They criticize the West side that you worship idol. We just pray to the painting, not idol. So the Greek Orthodox or the Orthodox side don't have idol, but they have painting in their temple. They paint picture everywhere on score on wall, and they pray to that painting and use Greek language.
Oh, yeah. That's why I have a question. I went to Lao, like most Christian in Lao, like a Catholic, you know, like they went to church, but they do everything. But some in Fresno, some they do believe like a Christian, some they on their own, like a Catholic, Roman Catholic, you know.
So now you know that where the Roman Catholics start. They just come in, pretend to be real Christian, but no. They just change the Roman religion to be Roman Catholic and claim themselves to be Christian, but you can see that they are not. Their teaching, their practicing is not from the Bible. They get something from the Bible or the name.
Yeah, even they do like a communion, you know, like only the father put in the mouth.
Yeah.
They cannot touch the bread, you know.
That's why I say that they hijacked the Christian church for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Until the 16th century, real Christian break out and we call Reformation, mean that we come back to the real Bible again after 1,000 years. It's a long time. They control the church for 1,000 years.
Okay, thank you, John.
Welcome. That's why in the 16th century, all the real Christians who believe in the Bible break out from the Catholic and start a real church according to the Bible again. It's a long time, 1,000 years.
That's why we call like a conservative.
Well, at first, the Catholic call us Protestant. Come from the word protest. We are the protest that they call us.
Protester.
Yeah,
Protestant.
Yeah, John, some of the preachers say, you know, we become angel one day, but I said, no, we become like an angel.
Yeah, we are not going to be angel. We better than angel. But we have some quality like the angel.
Yeah, I said that, you know, when you preach in funeral, somebody preached in funeral, but you know, they said, hey, we become angel like God. You know, I said, in my mind, I said, no, we become like an angel because we have no bodies, you know.
Yeah, we're going to be similar in angel in some way, but we are not going to be angel. Better than angel.
John, okay, come back to the Adam. When God created Adam, and he created Adam out of his image, and Adam was perfect. And the woman come from Adam's. A lot of you explain that to the, you know, gay or homosexual. They would use this one to claim, you know, said, hey, you know, being married doesn't have to be, you know, woman and man, because Adam doesn't have, you know, doesn't have, what do you call it? The Adam have both male and female.
Well,
how do you explain that?
You see, gender and sex come after. And the reason that God make male and female so we can multiply, have children. But one day we don't need to do that anymore. So we don't have gender anymore. Everyone become perfect like God. We don't need to multiply anymore. But the real love or the perfect love is another story. It's not about sexual anymore.
A sexual is it created for pleasure for both men and women, right?
It just real purpose is to multiply so we can have children.
What if God makes Adam just multiply without having a female?
It's possible before Eve. Adam himself is perfect in himself.
Mhm.
And I don't know what God planned for us to multiply without Eve. There might be another way.
I think companion was a good one for the woman. He created a woman for him because he said everything else perfect, everything else has companion, everything has male and female, but Adam is lonely. So
You see, the way God make Adam and animal not the same way. God make animal have male and female right away for the purpose of multiply more. But for Adam, at first, he perfect by himself. At first, God make all animal to be his friend, but later on, he want to make the compatible one. So he make Eve out of Adam.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Welcome.
Ajahn, this is some kind of the questions not supposed to ask, but I want to ask Ajahn. So after that, the Adam, and then God make him, and then become a man, and that way multiply the physical body, and we multiply the spirit also, right? So in the time that Jesus come in and to make it perfect again, so all our spirits come back to Adam only one, or the one we already multiply, we have the individual ourselves.
When John see the vision in the future that we worship God, he saw billions of people.
That means we all individual, even though physical body and the spirit of one of each.
Yes, and
We don't go back to Adam once. No.
We got to individual, but not with this physical body, but a new body, new kind of body.
Okay.
And people ask why we have so many. Well, you look in the sky, the universe is so big. Our earth is just like a dust in the sky.
Okay.
There are billions of stars up there that God will put us and use us to take care of those things in the future. And we look at our world, we think that we fill up the world, but we just a piece of dust in the sky. Do you have any more comment or question? So if not, we're going to take a break and come back for the second class.
John, this is the last chapter. Will you send us the new material?
Oh, I finished chapter 5. Today is 5.
Chapter 5, right.
Okay, I could send you more today, maybe until 8 or 10. Let me check. Okay, thank you for reminding. I will send them.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. I will see you next week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, today we talk about chapter 5, responding to conflict, part 1. This chapter we talk about the wrong way that people use when we have problems. A lot of times the church, when we face with some conflict or problem, and we respond in the wrong way. In this chapter, we talk about the 10 wrong way that the church always use and how to avoid them. Don't make the mistake again. Why we do a lot of mistake? Because we think that that is a good way. But it turned out that this 10 way is not helping. And this 10 way that we always use cause more problem in the long term. The first mistake that we make is we try to avoid conflict altogether. What that means? It means that conflict or differences is very normal in every church, in every family. We are not the same. We are all different. So try to ignore and don't think that we have differences. It's like we try to ignore a big elephant in the room. You see that elephant is so big and everyone can see the elephant, but we're pretending that we don't see the elephant. So differences in every church, in every family is normal. So why we try to ignore it? We try not to see it. And this is the big problem. So we have to acknowledge that we are different, but for good reason. God do not make all of us the same organ. God intend to make a different part of the body so we can serve, we can work together, and we can support each other. So some people say that we need to make everyone the same. No, we don't need to be the same. But even we're different, we can work together. We can help each other. So don't try to avoid differences. Just accept it. We are different, but we still can be a family. We still can work together. Now, when we say that we try to avoid, somebody say that why fighting? Well, we don't talk about fighting, and we're not talking about ignoring too. We need to acknowledge, accept that we are different and we have disagreement. But in the same time, we try to find a way to solve the problem. You see that a lot of people try to avoid all differences, avoid any disagreement by keep quiet or don't talk. Well, sometimes it works, but in the long term, it's not helping because you bury your anger, you bury all the conflict under the rug. It will pop up sometime, someday. But in the short time, in the short term, it might help when both sides or everyone so angry. We might have to cool down first, but we still have to come back to deal with it. To cool down doesn't mean that no problem. It just means that we need to buy some time. And we have to come back to deal with that later on when you all sides cool down. Now, when you're angry, you cannot listen. When you're angry, you don't listen to anyone. You just want to win. And that is not a good time to deal with problems when you're angry. A lot of time when we're angry, we punish our children with anger, and that's not helping. We better cool down first. Because when we cool down, we can think and we can reason well and find the best solution. It's always good to cool down first, buy some time. But when time comes, we have to deal with it. Don't ignore it and try to forget it. Because the problem is not solving by trying to forget it. Our culture always say that just forget about it. Well, nobody forget. We're just pretending that there's no problem, but that is not the best way. Sometimes we need to slow down because some problem is too complicated. It takes time to deal with it. It's slowly, but if we intend to deal with it, we can solve it sometime, someday. And I always say that how to eat an elephant, that a saying. Well, they say one bite at a time. If you start one bite at a time, one day you finish the whole elephant. It's the same thing. The conflict, the problem is big, but you intend to deal with it slowly, a little bit at a time. One day you solve the problem too. But now, how you help with someone in your team, in your church, in your family, who don't want to talk about the problem and don't want to deal with the problem. Well, you need to give them some space, some room. Some people need some time, but slowly you still need to talk with them. But don't go to them and accusing them. Because if you start accusing them, they will stop, they will shut out, and they don't want to deal with it. But have to go approach them with understanding, with love, and try to show them that you care. You want to help them. And you want them to help solve the problem. So you see that loving understanding to start with. Not accusing and put them down, but show them that you care and you want to help. And this is so important though. People want to know that you care and you want to help. Now the second one is the wrong way, is being defensive. What that mean? You heard sometime when you talk in church or in family, you mention something in general, but someone start fighting back right away and say that it's not my fault. It's not me who do the problem. It's not me who do something. Why they're so defensive? Mean that they cannot take any criticism. They don't want anyone to blame them. They stand up and start shouting, screaming, and lies away, complaining. Now you need to understand these people have psychologically, they have wound inside. It means that they have been hurt so much in the past, and they're always ready to fight back and defend themselves. It's like the Thai saying always say that you can keep chasing the dog and abuse the dog to the point that when the dog turn back and fight. What that means? The dog cannot run away anymore. The dog go to the corner now. Now they fight back. So some people feel that way. They have been pushed to the corner, and the only way they have is fight back. They start right away. Now they're very sensitive on everything. When you mention anything, they fight back right away. So it's not a good way, but it's also show that this person needs help, need love, need understanding. The lies is always pushed in the corner. And they always feel that they need to fight back. They need to defend themselves. And you will have this person in your family, in your church all the time. You can guess right away. When anything happens, they will start fighting back. They will start defending themselves. They will start saying, it's not my fault. Nobody tell me. Somebody else caused problem. They will start right away. I believe that you have seen these people. But instead of put them away, you need to understand that inside these people, they hurt so much and they have fear. They need help. In order to help these people, you need to cool down and assure them that you're not accusing them. You just try to help, and you're ready to listen to them. And they don't need to feel that it's their fault. It's not their fault. We just try to find a way, the solution, to work together, that's all. These people always feel that people accusing them all the time and talk at their back. So help these people first. It's not a good behavior, but a lot of people cannot help themselves because it's already inside them. It's just a good way to see that we need to help this person first, because if you're not helping them, they always have a problem with everyone. So in order to help these people, don't react to what they say right away, because they will not stop. If you keep trying to react to what they say, they will keep go on and defend themselves even more. But take away from what you try to talk about that person. You might have to start talking about something else first and listen to them. And later on, you can confirm to them that you're not accusing them. You're not trying to hurt them. You just try to find solution for the whole church or the whole family. So these people need to deal with them first. They need help. They need confirmation. They need understanding. Now, you need to see that defensive and defending them yourself is not the same thing. Defensive means that you are very sensitive. When people talk about anything, you always feel that they're accusing you. They try to hurt you. But defending yourself means that somebody directly attacking you, and you try to explain to them the fact. So that's two different things. These people is very sensitive. These people have something hurt inside. But these people with normal people try to tell the truth, try to correct the mistake. So defensive and defending is not the same thing. You have the right to defend yourself when people are accusing you and it's not true. And you try to defend the fact. But defensive is sensitive. You feel everyone accusing you, even they don't. You feel hurt, even nobody try to hurt you. So this is more psychological problem. And this is very normal person. Now about yourself. How to help yourself not to be defensive. Well, listen and try to understand people, and don't feel hurt right away. Don't try to fight back right away. A lot of people don't want to hurt you and don't want to accusing you, but a lot of times you jump in because you feel that way. So you need to cool down and listen. And a lot of time you can help people understand you better. But as I say, that defensive people depends on how long you have been this way. If you have been for so many years, you need more help because it's deep inside the scar, the wound is so deep. It's not going to solve in one time or one day. It takes months or even years to help you. But sometimes people really criticize you openly or backward. You need to deal with criticism. If it's the fact, you need to accept it and work it out. But if it's not the fact, it's not the truth, you still need to listen and give a good response with all the facts. The whole thing is you need to calm down, listen, and listen with them with fact. A lot of time we get angry and it's not solving problem. It's always good to calm down and listen. And this is the right way how to respond to all criticism or the problem that happen in your family or in your church. Okay, that's the two things that we deal with, over defensive and ignoring the problem. That's the two topics that we talk about in the first section. Okay, I will come back to you to get some of your response first, or maybe let's go to number 3 first. Overgeneralization. This is another way that don't help the situation. It means that you always say that, oh, it's normal, it's all the same thing, it's nothing problem. This is the saying that you discount every problem. You generalize everything that is normal, no problem. You overlook all the facts by saying that. Some leader always say that, oh, no problem, no problem. Little thing, don't talk about it. Well, for a lot of people, it's problem. You don't over say that no problem and nothing serious. When people raise up something, spend some time, listen to them and show them that you care. But by saying that no problem, everything is normal, don't talk about it, it means that we don't care. We don't listen to them. We don't pay attention. So this is not a good way to deal with problem, or not a good way to be a leader. Because for you, you might feel it's nothing, but for a lot of people, it's big problem. It's serious for them. So you need to care enough to listen to them, pay attention, and promise that we're going to do something with it. Why people overgeneralization? Well, a lot of time you as a leader or as a father or as the head of the clan, you want to solve the problem by ignoring a lot of problems. And by ignoring or make it not serious, it becomes serious. And sometimes you think that the bomb that coming to you is not a bomb, but a bomb still a bomb. Even a little bomb is still a bomb. A little problem, a little cancer is still a cancer. You cannot say, oh, little cancer is nothing serious. It's serious. It's everything starts small. So don't overgeneralization every problem or every situation, because every problem, every situation is different. It's not always the same thing, not always the same cause, and not always the same solution. So pay attention, listen, and show them that you care. Because when you generalize everything, the problem will keep coming back. It's never solved, and people don't pay attention all the time. And you might think that we waste of time talking about the same thing, but a lot of time it's not the same thing. Okay, 3 topics we already talked about: overgeneralization, over defensive, and ignoring, avoiding the problem. Okay, that's 3 topics. I want to come back to you for your question or comment. Which one that you face more in your church or in your family? Yes,
Number two, being defensive.
yeah.
Being defensive, that's a lot of time I can see. Like for example, I'm not meaning I'm talking about our church, but to me in my experience, like a lot of time when people defending that one is not the same, but I see that's being defensive. Sometimes the leader or the same group people, when we do something, we don't let them know, but they already know. But the time that we meeting that time, oh, I don't care because I don't know. They don't tell me. We talk about that. They're defensive. So I don't really know. So I know it, but they don't tell me. I don't care. In that part. So I don't know what is the solution we can, tell them that we don't need to tell you if you the leadership, you know that you don't need to defend on yourself because we should do it the team at the same time. So I see this problem a lot.
Okay. You need to look at the person who very defensive first. Psychologically, they have wound deep inside them. They might grow up in a family that their parents accusing them a lot and hurt them a lot. And this is the normal way that they fight back to protect themselves.
Oh.
So now when they hurt anything, they're afraid that people try to hurt them again. They try to protect themselves. It's might call overprotective.
That could be like that.
Yeah.
Because, most of the time we see this kind of person, they might have a wound for a long time. Yeah, Ajahn, I see that because everything we mention and then they think that back to them, okay? Maybe everything's, maybe they think that, that someone had talked to them, but it's not, some is not. That's general. Thank you, Ajahn. So
we
what
need,
should we do? We will have to tell them the truth that we're not telling you, we just say general, right?
yeah, to deal with these people, the first step is calm down, confirm to them that you're not accusing them, and try to listen to them, show them that you care and you want to help them. It's going to take some time. It depends on how deep the wound they have or how long they have been in that situation. But everyone who are so defensive have a scar, have a wound, psychological wound that's so deep. And a lot of time they don't know. They don't know about that.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome.
Ajahn, I have questions.
Yes.
I don't know what other classmates think, but to me, I think in our Christian communities, even though we are Christian, but we're not perfect. So there's a lot of gossiping around. And should we ignore gossiping or not? Doesn't matter what we do, it hurts. So what should we do?
Okay. I can recommend this way. If you really secure, I mean that psychological secure and physical secure, you don't care much about rumor or gossiping. But if you're not secure emotionally or physically, it hurt you a lot. So what that mean? It means that if you really are stable, if you're really confident in yourself, this thing not bother you. But if psychologically you are not secure, you checking, any criticism cause a lot of alarm in you, inside you, and make you nervous and worry a lot. So now talk about helping yourself. First thing is you need to find out why you're not secure, why you really unstable. Because you feel that you're not qualified for the job, you are not good enough, you are afraid that somebody is going to take over your job or to kick you out. If you feel that deep inside you, now you're really insecure. You're going to feel so bad all the time about criticism. But if you're so secure, you don't care. Nothing can touch you. You look at the situation of Moses. People criticize him every day, 3 million people all the time. Sometimes it gets to him too. He gets so tired of listening people criticizing him. But a lot of time Moses cannot do much. He just tell God, and God deal with them. God deal with the Israelites instead of Moses. And Moses know very sure that his work with God is secure. God chosen him. And that helped him a lot. And God deal with those people himself. Moses don't need to deal with. Now my point is, you need to know what God called you to do and be sure that this is what God put you there. And you don't need to worry about the rest because God take care of that. God protecting you. If God using you. And if God want to move you, let him do it. So you don't need to fight back to those people. They're not fighting you, they're fighting God. As Moses said, they're fighting God. Who can to win? So you all who serving God need to know exactly what God called you to do and do that. And don't worry about criticism or rumor or gossiping. It's not going to hurt you. But you yourself need to be very secure, knowing what God using you. When I was young, I feel insecure too. But when I get older, I understand more. And I don't care about criticism, rumor, or gossiping anymore. Okay, any more question or comment about the first 3 topics that we learned? Yeah, the over defensive I have seen everywhere. And almost in every meeting, I have seen that. But still, you are as a leader, I want to encourage you, try to understand them. They hurt and they crying for help. So we need to understand them, calm down, and try to show love and concern, not fight back, not try to shut them down, and not try to tell them that you overreact or you too much. No, they need your love, they need your care, they need you to understand them. Can you remember in my teaching on last Tuesday, when people start asking some question, I don't feel threatened at all. I welcome every question, and I know some people feel that that guy.
Exactly, Achan. 2 person they come defensive for Achan.
But I don't feel
They said,
threatened
you
at all.
know, but Achan can handle like that. I said, one of my member, he went out after Achan know him. And then he asking about the catfish. And then he want to Achan answer him yes or no. And Achan example for him 3 example already. Look at the X, and then and Achan example Achan Sao, and then he's still confused, and then he get out from the Zoom, and then he called me, and then I just pretending. I said, yes, you get in and ask Achan again until you, and then he disappeared. Achan, I see you a good example that. Like me, I often right away.
You know that I feel very secure. I don't feel threatening or feel bad at all.
Yeah, we can see that Ajahn is very patient and say, "Oh, I can, explain more. Whatever the question that you need to ask, I available to answer that." That's okay. Wow, Ajahn is so patient.
And the another person from Portland, he already come out and office it already. He just make the rule for.
And you know that when people ask Jesus a lot of questions, he don't answer directly. They want them to think because the answer will affect everyone, and not one answer can solve all problem.
Right.
And for Jesus, some question is a trap. It doesn't matter what you answer. Like people come to ask Jesus, should we pay tax to Caesar? Whatever answer is a trap.
Achan, did you can see that part that night? Some of them they want to learn. Some of them they want to come and test Achan. Did you see that too, right?
Yes, but for me, I don't mind.
Yeah, same thing. See that Achan too. Yeah.
And one after that they call us, say, "Oh, I intentionally to test Ajahn, but I already know everything." That means Ajahn learned a lot, and Ajahn knows a lot. And he called us and said, "Yeah, Ajahn has been teaching long time, and Ajahn a lot, and that's why Ajahn has been teaching over 40 years."
40 something.
Yeah, 40.
I asked him, did you hear that Achan introduced himself, and then he said, "Oh, I get late." Yeah, he came from China.
Yeah, so you see, I started as a young preacher and really insecure too. But many years that I learned to trust God and growing more and more. So when I look back at those people, I see myself when I was young too. So I understand that very well. Okay, any more questions before we go back to the note? Okay, let's go back to the note. Number 4, being right all the time. This is another big problem. Sometimes you so confident on yourself and you think that you are the only one who right all the time. You never make mistake. And everyone else make mistake. Well, this is problem too. We all still can make mistake. And we are not right all the time. So some leaders think that everyone make mistake. I never make mistake. And you cannot accept any other people thinking or disagreement with you. We need to change this. I told you last time that Elon Musk, even the most successful guy, so smart, he still say that I listen to everyone because I can make mistake too. And someone can give me some better idea. He's so humble to think that way. And we all have to think that way too. We are not perfect. We can make mistake. And we have to listen to everyone. accept all differences, all different ideas. Calm down, listen, and let people know that you will work with them. So this is important though. A lot of time, nobody want to work with you because you are Mr. Perfect. And you think that you are the best. We are not. But you will see all these people everywhere, especially the one who's so successful, the one who's so famous. And they think that they are the best. But in fact, you might say that these people have some problem with narcissism. Narcissists or narcissism mean that they're falling in love with themselves. They think that they are the best. They're perfect. Nobody can do the thing like them do. And the one who have most serious problem is the one who needs the most help. So this is Mr. Perfect. Never make mistake. And if you are one of them, how you can help yourself? Understand yourself why you have to be perfect. And try to find out why you always think that way. There are always reasons. Maybe they grew up in a family that your dad always said that you are not good, you are bad. This is one extreme. Another extreme is your dad or your parent always say that you are the best, you're perfect. That's another extreme. Either way, it can bring up the kid to be wrong because you are raised up wrong. How to raise up your kid to be correct mean that, well, sometimes we make the right thing, sometimes we make mistake, that's normal. The kid need to know that it's okay to make mistake. We can correct that. Nobody perfect, nobody right all the time. We need to raise our children up that way. When we make mistake, we listen, we correct. And not try to control everyone. We work together as a team. Nobody is the boss, only God is the boss. And to accept mistake is difficult. Anyone want to say that, I'm sorry, I'm wrong? Nobody want to say that. But we need to learn how to say that sometime. We can make mistake, we can be wrong. But to say out loud, to tell out to everyone that I make mistake, is difficult. Especially you are leader, you're on top. And it goes back to how you deal with other people. You work with other people well or correct or not. Now, okay, the fourth one is Mr. Perfect. Never make mistake. Number 5, psychoanalysis, mind reading. The fifth one is the one who know everything. Well, even you know a lot, you still don't know everything. But this one, we call them the psychic. This means that they can read people's mind. You think that you can read people's mind. You can guess what people think. And you can know what people are planning in their head. Well, sometimes you can guess right, but a lot of times you guess wrong. And this is the big problem because some leaders think that, oh, you don't need to talk, I can read your mind. But a lot of time it's wrong. People are so complex and you might guess sometimes right, but not every time. But this group of people think that they can guess everything correct every time. And in fact, if you test what you guess, a lot of time it's not correct. There are many studies going on that test people that you guess right or wrong. Most of the time, people guess wrong. And this is like when you buy lotto, you pick up the number and you think that you're going to hit jackpot, but most of the time, millions of people guess wrong. This is why to hit a jackpot in lotto is more difficult than get hit by the lightning 3 times. You know that if it have a big storm raining, you're going out in the field and carry a rod of iron and let the lightning hit you 3 times. You have a chance to hit lotto 1 time. So how difficult it is to guess correctly? Very difficult. But a lot of people think that they are the perfect mind of guessing. And when you try to read out the people's mind, it's always come out bad. You read that people hate you, people don't like you, people just try to fight you and be your enemy. But a lot of times it's not correct. Most people not try to be your enemy. They just try to be your friend or try to work with you. But when we read other people's mind, we look wrong. We think that they don't care about you, they just jealous of you. This is the bad way that we always lead. But in fact, it's not that way. So number 4 is perfect. Number 5 is mind reading. Number 6 is forgetting to listen. And this is serious because we feel that that guy talk too much. That guy talk a lot and we don't want to listen. And people who talk a lot have, well, if you look different way, psychologically, people who talk a lot, they also need help. They need attention. And you need to understand them. Maybe at home, they never have a chance to talk because their wife talk all the time. So they don't have a chance to talk at home. So in the meeting at church, they will talk. Or sometimes their parents never allow them to talk at home. So now they grow up, they want to talk. Or many other reasons why people talk so much in the meeting or in church. So it depends. It's always smart to talk when you have to talk and be quiet when nobody wants you to talk. But a lot of people don't know how to stop. You ever heard the saying that people pay them to talk? Some people, they pay them to stop talking. Now, which kind of you? You are the one that people pay you to talk or pay you to stop? Why some people get paid to talk? People love to listen to them. They know how to talk and when to stop and talk the thing people want to hear. But the people pay to stop talking mean that they don't know when to talk, when to stop, and don't know what the topic, what they're supposed to talk. A lot of people make a living out of talking. A lot of people lost their job, lost their friend because of their talking. So what's the difference? You can make yourself the one that people love to listen to you, or the one that people hate to listen to you. You have to decide, you have to choose. Now, to be a good listener, when you say that you're quiet, it means you listen. No. When you say you're a good listener, you need to stop and listen carefully. But sometimes you go too deep, and that can be a problem too. When I mean you listen too deep, mean that when you listen, you try to evaluate what you listen. You try to think what they talk. And you go too deep and you make judgment on what they talk. And that's not helping. So a good listening, it just means that you pay attention, try to understand them, not try to judge them, and try to put them down. So you need to open mind when you listen to someone, try to understand them, not try to judge them, not try to put them down, not try to criticize them, or try to find mistake, but open mind, understanding, and that is the good listening. You know that in order to be a good counselor, you get training of listening. A lot of people say that listening means that you just sit down quiet. No, it means that you need to train how to listen. How to listen. A lot of people say listening need to learn, need training. Yes. To be a good listener, you need to get training. If not, you listen wrong. Your mind running around, judging people, and try to find fault, and that's not the good listening. Okay, there is more idea here that you can read later on about good listening, how to learn how to be a good listener, and what will help. A lot of theory here that I put down here. Now, I put here some 6 reasons that you might not be a good listener. Even you try to get training, you still cannot be a good listening because number 1, you always love to talk. You don't want to listen. You just care about what you want to talk. You never care about listen to anyone. This is some nature inside someone. So this is have to change. If not, you will never be a good listener. You just want to talk. Secondly, every time you're quiet, you listen to someone, you're judging them right away. Bad, 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 bad. Don't judge people. Just listen. Don't judge. You have bias. Mean that you already decide before you listen that this is a bad guy. Whatever he's going to talk is all bad. You already decide that I won't take his idea. I won't listen to his suggestion because you already make decision before you listen. Your ego get in the way. Now, sometimes some people have a very high ego, mean that I'm the best. Nobody can teach me. Nobody can know better than me. Now your ego get into the way. You don't listen to anyone. Number 5 is a bad listener because you try to do many things in the same time. While you listen, you try to play game or talk on the phone or try to do some other work in the same time while you're listening. So you are not good listener. You shut people off, mean that you keep stopping them, interrupt them, stopping them. Don't let them finish their sentence or their thinking. Don't interrupt. Let people finish what they try to tell you. Okay, 3 more now. Number good listening is another good thing, and people forget to listen. Number 6. Number 5 is try to read people's mind. That also a mistake. Number 4 is you are Mr. Right all the time. So I should put 10 of them together in one place, so easy for you to go back. Okay, you have any question concerning 3 more? Mr. Right don't want to listen. Mind reading. You think you know everything. You can read people's mind. You can guess everything right all the time. That's 3 more. Now we go to number 6 now. Okay, which one that you think is the main problem in your church or in your family, or you have to deal with all the time? 3 more. Which one of them? 4, 5, 6, which one that you think? Which one? Yeah, Kat?
Number 4, Mr. Perfect.
You have to change that and cannot perfect.
Yeah, we all sometimes that way. If you're so successful, you're so famous, you have a chance to be Mr. Perfect.
I want to ask Ajahn, the Mr. Perfect, the number 4. Not talk about myself, I talk about someone. That way. Like I got the experience, someone called me, and then because Ajahn, I would tell myself, okay, in order, I said, means a language that that is not mean people created. That is, colorway, someone, American people, they create means a language, reading. And then I said, I lost my the book for the teaching credential or whatever, that I forgot all those things. I cannot rewrite. And then I talked to one of people, said, if you do have it, you don't mind, you can send it to me, and then we'll see. If some people, they cannot read, they just only read word by word, that is not correct. So I just try to let them do the thing, like because we almost the Mian language almost like a Lao Thai. We do have Saman Ekto 3 Chatwa, whatever, we have to do that. I talked to him, and then he is the Mr. Perfect right away. But he said, you're not shy. Can you talk? You're not perfect. You're talking about that I just quiet, listen to him, whatever he said to me. And then because I'm me, I learn from this, there, everywhere. So look like he talking about that he want to teach, and then I don't recruit him to get in that way, because he is Mr. Perfect. And then he asked me, you're not shy, you cannot do that, this and that. And then I listened until the end, and then he stopped, and I talked to him, yes, yeah, because before I become a Christian, I was in Thailand. So we have training for the means, Roman, yeah.
We have school for
That
that.
we have a school for that. So I become a Christian. I already learned that, and then he know that I know. I already been learned that, and then he quiet, and then he hang up the phone, and that's why. And I don't know what to deal with that, and then that's why I call him is that Mr. Perfect, right, John?
Yeah, sometimes you look at the person, you can look at both inside and outside. When I talk about inside, mean that psychologically. why someone try to be perfect. And outside, I talk about success, position, people who respect him, and that outside. But inside, it's just psychologically wound that he grew up in a certain situation, parent expectation, or himself push himself up so high. So it's both sides. You have to look why he is that way. Need time to understand, to know him. And you know that I believe that everyone can change. If they listen to God, and God can change everyone, can use everyone.
Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, everyone. Bye. Hope to see you guys.
Okay, bye, Bob.
Bye.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week. Thank you, Ajahn.
Welcome. You have any more question concerning? Now we deal with number 1 to number 6. Okay, if not, we go back to the note to finish to number 10. Number 7, we call playing the blame game. That means that whenever we have problem, we try to find victim. We blame someone. It's not my fault. I have nothing to do with it. It's somebody else, somebody else. Why we always blame someone? And someone always the target of the problem. We pick someone to be a target every time. It's that guy problem, that guy caught problem, that guy mistake all the time. Well, it's very normal. We try to protect ourselves and we try to find an easy prey or easy target to blame. But at a church, a Christian, I don't think this is a good way. Don't find target, don't find scapegoat. We use in the Bible, we call scapegoat. Someone that take all the blame all the time. Jesus come to be scapegoat or to die for us. But in the same time, I don't think that we should keep blaming someone for all the problem we have. Yes, that guy might contribute something to it, but we all together at a family or at a church, we work together. So it's all come to caring, loving, and helping. And it's all about forgiving one another. Yes, that guy might do some mistake, but we're still not going to blame them. How to help? Well, there's some way. And sometimes it's our own personal background. We got hurt and we always think that somebody hurt us. I talk about poison mind, poison body, mean that we live with resentment since we're young. And inside us, we feel that somebody caused our problem. Yes, it might be true, but still we cannot live that way. We need to get out of that victim status. You know that they always have a saying that to be a victim, a lot of people use it all the time. Oh, somebody hurt me, I'm a victim, I need help. Somebody turned out to find the way of living by being victim all the time. But this is not the right way to live a life. We need to get out of that feeling. But I know that in American culture, if you can make yourself a victim, you get a lot of help, you get a lot of benefit, you get a lot of support. So a lot of people love to be a victim all the time. But it's not healthy. And don't try to blame everyone for all your problems. A lot of time we need to take responsibility. We also contribute to the problem. Number 8 is win an argument. This guy have to win every time, because you cannot lose faith if you lose. So whatever happens, he needs to win every time. He cannot lose. And a lot of time in Asian culture, adult or old people have to keep faith. They cannot lose. And this is not a good way in Christian family. And I want to go on in general and leave the detail for you to read. Number 9 is character attack, mean that a lot of problems happen not because of the topic, but you don't like the person. You say that you are bad people, you come from a bad family, you have a bad background, so whatever you do is all bad. And this is not a good way. Don't attract them because their background. You come from a bad family. Your background is bad, so we don't trust you. We don't listen to you. So we don't do that in Christian church, in our Christian family. But some people always use that to attract someone. And sometimes we call character assassination. You kill the person by judging them from their background or their family. It's not the right way to do it. Well, if you are one of that person who get attacked because of your background or your family, don't get angry. People always come from a different perspective, and confront the shame. Mean that you accept that your background is not perfect. You accept that you come from a family that have problems, but God give you a chance. You change. God change you. And you don't need to live in the past. God give us a new life, a new future, and we have a new start. We change, God changed us, and we can be a new person. We don't go to repeat the mistake again. We start all over. Number 10, we call stonewalling. It means that you don't listen, you don't care, you don't want to change. You just stay with what you believe. So this is not a good sign, but some people with that way. They say, I already make my decision before the meeting. So I don't listen to anyone. I don't listen to anything. I'm not going to change. So sometimes this is bad. So why you make decision even you come before the meeting? It means that you already decide everything. You don't want to get involved. You don't want to do anything. You don't care about whatever happened. You stand firm. Well, if what you stand firm is on the Bible or on for God, it's okay. But if on personal ground or personal foundation, it's not right. So you need to know that you stand stonewalling because your faith in the Bible, in God, that one thing. But if not because of God or the standard in the Bible, I think you can listen, you can compromise, you can work with other people. So this is the one who don't want to change, don't want to work with anyone. Okay, that in general that I want to present to you that why church cannot solve the problem, because some of these things that happen and some of the leader who have this quality that need to change. Stonewalling, character assassination, attack person on their background. This is another problem. And number 8 is win the argument all the time or every time. Try to win, just try to win. Number 8. And number 7 is the blame game. Somebody blame people all the time, and some people also use another way, paying victim all the time. So that is not good too. So we see some of this problem among us that we need to deal with. Okay, I will come back to you for your question or response. All the detail, you can read them. Okay, Poon.
โอเคครับครับพบอาทิตย์หน้าครับผม
See you next week, Poon.
ครับผม
Your question or comment on what we have, how you deal with them.
The number 9. Number 9 is, to me, Ajahn, I don't mean that I'm very like the background person, but to me, I see that Jesus always when they come, when he come, he's not. His word said, "I'm not looking for the healthy people." So that's bad people, they can change. That's why, like my purpose when I doing thing, I just want because of the church people always they have something. That's why they becoming Christian. And like myself, I would love to have people with the background people. So sometimes for the deacon they don't agree this way, so I don't know what to solve the problem. Sometimes I pick someone to work in the church, like they have a background, but they already changed. They love to work and then volunteer. But the deacon sometimes they just blame on number 7 and blame on that. This background people, we don't really want that, this and that, and then they said that bad people. I said we don't give them a chance. How can they become a good? And then sometimes I have feeling kind of this is discrimination. So I don't know what to solve the solution.
Okay, Paul deal with that in the book of Corinthians because it's a big church and a lot of problems. Paul said that problems need to deal with, and leadership need to have the right attitude and behave right, good example. When the leader fail, we need to discipline the leader. At church in Corinthians, at first they don't discipline the leader who make mistake, but later on they go overboard, mean that they punish the leader, and when the leader correct and come back, confess, they won't take him back. And Paul say, you go too far now. When they make mistake, they accept, they correct the mistake, they come back, the church need to take them back. But to come back to God, to be a Christian is the right, everyone have the right to do that. But to serve God in certain position is the privilege. Privilege means that God choose anyone for each work. So we all can volunteer, but God decide who is going to do what. So a certain job, God decides someone to do that. It's not fully volunteer. God decide. You see that a lot of Israelites want to replace Moses, but God won't take them. God just chose Moses for a certain job. So I think it depends on what he's going to do, that person. Some job he should not do it, but some job he can do it. Something he can do it, but something let God decide.
Okay, Ajahn, that means, so I just talk about the volunteer, person. Sometimes, it's not during the time when they, volunteer to do something in the church, but they doing bad. No, I don't mean that way, but I mean the background. The background, they already have sometimes like, police arrest and this and that. Sometimes they been drinking and then, gambling or those kind, and then they already, quit. And then they volunteer. But sometimes, the deacon said, oh, this person, we should not take him yet because, he have a background. I said, to me, I see that if depend on what kind of situation, and we should accept. If the God accept, we accept because, if they continue and then we will talk and then we might stop. And that way. So, but sometimes, the deacon, they don't allow, and then that's why I don't know in the future what I'm going to do and solve the problem.
Well, if someone could apply to be a pastor of your church, they say my background is I kill someone. I hurt a lot of people. Will you take that guy?
John, I don't know. Depend on to me. I said maybe if he already changed, and then if based on the federal law, whatever, he's already free, and then that way, probably I will.
Paul is that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Another one come to you that, well, I write song. Can you sing my song? I do a lot of good things, but I commit adultery and I kill her husband.
David.
Yeah. David is a bad guy.
Yes.
Commit adultery, kill her husband. He wrote psalm that we sing, that we read every day.
Thank you, Ajahn. Now I got the solution. Thank you.
What do you say no to the one that God used?
Can I say that again?
How can you say no to the one that God still using?
No one can say no.
God decide.
Yes.
Yeah, บุญตา
อาจารย์ขน้อยยักษ์ท่ามอาจารย์นานแล้วไม่ได้ท่ามทำไมทุกบ้านเขาเป็นคริสเตียนอยู่ที่นี่กับคริสเตียนใช่ไหมอาจารย์แล้วก็ขน้อยยักษ์ท่ามกันนะลูเทอร์แลนเชิร์ชได้เข้าก็คริสเตียนแล้วลูเทอร์แลนเชิร์ชทำไมเขาจึงถือTen Commandments น้อยยักษ์รู้จักแล้วก็แปลเป็นภาษาไทยถูกครับ
คือหลายโบสถ์บอกว่าบุญตา asked that the Lutheran Church keep the Ten Commandments In fact, we all still keep the 10 Commandments because Jesus said that every word of God is always there. We're not throwing the words of God, it's still always there, but some of them already fulfilled by Jesus, mean that some of them already come into the meaning that when we start a lot of Old Testament, we don't understand everything and we're still waiting. And Jesus come to explain a lot of meaning of the Old Testament and fulfill a lot of things, mean that Jesus done it, finished it for us. So now we do a lot of new things that Jesus tell us the right meaning, like the law of God. The Pharisees say that we keep the law of God, Sabbath, we don't work, we don't do anything. Jesus said that you need to know the intention of Sabbath, to do good thing, to worship God, but a lot of meaning that the Pharisee misunderstood and don't know that the law of God is the living law. It's not a dead law. Jesus used that word a lot, a living law. Mean that it's growing in meaning with time, with everything. And Jesus fulfilled that because the Pharisee keep the law of God as a dead law. Dead law, what that mean? Thousands of years ago, this is they understand, it's still that way, but Jesus said this is the living words of God. So living means growing, deeper, understanding more. I don't like the word that change. The words of God never change, but it growing in meaning, deeper. So it means that if you keep the 10 Commandments as a dead law, it's wrong. But if you keep it as a living law of God, you understand it correctly, as Jesus said.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Welcome.
John, can you give us an example, the living law?
For example, the fourth law in the 10 Commandments say that you observe the Sabbath. In Moses' time, it means that you stop working. You don't, some very strict, don't even get up from bed on Sabbath. They sleep all day. They don't cook. They don't walk. They don't do anything at all. That's very strict on the death law. But on Sabbath, Jesus walk, Jesus teach, Jesus heal people from sick and do all the good thing. And the Pharisee got so mad. Why you broke the Sabbath law? Jesus said, no, you don't understand the real meaning of Sabbath. Sabbath is God's law for us to worship God, to rest, and also to do good things. That means the growing living law, that we understand it more deeper. But don't change, it's still the law of God, to do good things, to respect God, to spend time with God. But we understand it deeper because it's a living law. And the fourth, the number one, number two, number three, about God. Obey God, don't make idol, everything. We just understand in the physical sense, but Jesus combined them in the living law that love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. This is the living law. Now we understand the first three commandments as love God with all. Not just worship God, not just don't worship idol, but to love God. And all the rest of the law is about not commit adultery, not covet, not steal. These are combined into one law that love your neighbor as yourself. That's the living law, the real meaning.
John, can I ask you a last question?
Yes.
Old Testament.
Yes.
when I go through many time for that book, but I still cannot understand that book, Song of the Solomon.
Yes.
I don't know what that purpose is. That it really mean that for the couple get holding together until the end, or what? So it seems to me when I go to that book, I'm very bored.
Well, the real meaning there is the spiritual meaning
Oh,
between God and us.
oh,
God and us. Lover is God and we who obey God.
oh. That's why I don't really understand. And then when I get that book, and then it's kind of, I feel sleepy, and then something, all kind of sweet thing only. Kind of sweet, very sweet talking, and then now I get it.
Yeah, it's just a symbol how much God loves us, and we should love God and get close to God that way.
Okay. All right.
In spiritual sense.
Thank you.
Okay, I just sent the email on chapter 6 to 10 to you for both classes. You can check your email. If you have any problem, you can let me know. So the lesson of chapter 6 to 10 or week 6 to 10 on both courses, I just sent it to you. So check your email. If you have problem, let me know. Do you have any more question or comment for the class for today? Is that Chai? Your dad went to work? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he went to work.
Oh, okay. Okay, you have any more questions before we're done for today?
question อาจารย์
Okay, question. Okay, no more?
no more question อาจารย์
Okay, good.
John, when did you send the email?
Yes,
When did you send it?
just a few minutes ago. Any one of you get my email?
I don't get it.
Really?
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's on the way, maybe.
Let's see.
John, I don't get it yet. Oh, now I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about 10 a.m. something 16 a.m. from chapter 6 to 10, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I got it.
let's see. Nathan, let me check Nathan in the list or not. Farm is in there. Maybe your name is not in the list. Let me forward it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, I forward it to you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Check that you get it. So the rest of you have any more questions? So Nathan, if you don't get it again, let me know. But I'm pretty sure that farm in the list that I sent to.
I'm not receiving it, so it's okay. I will use from farm.
Okay, let me. Okay, maybe sometime tonight, or if you still not get it, I will check again to see what the problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's pray. Gracious God, we thank you again today what we learned. We thank you that you help us. I lift up all students before you. Be with them and bless them, provide for them, and help them until we come back again next week. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, bye-bye all. See you next week.
Bye, Chan. See you.